I remember when this shit was due for release in May 6th, 2016, and it would have been fucking gorgeous. Imagine it. 2 movies, each one belonging to one of the top comic book publishers on the planet, sharing the whole good guy versus good guy plot and a motherfucking release date. Holy fucking shit. Battlegrounds popping up everywhere, from online to the cinema foyers for the respective hardcore fan bases to hack each other to pieces in a war that's almost as pointless as Brooke Hogan's career. At least that's what was meant to have happened until it was moved forward to March of the same year. Shame really, because I'd have loved to have seen these two fight over the box office spoils like a couple of siblings fighting for the house exit because they had the audacity to be noticed before their parents had started their morning drinks. But if you spend any time with me, you'll soon know that I'm a fan of early releases. Anyway, during the fight between Superman and General Zod in Man of Steel, Bruce Wayne is caught up in the debris and loses his building as well as close friends and employees and blames Superman for the whole thing. So he puts on his Batsuit and tries to find a way to kill Superman before something like this happens again. Outrageously rich Lex Luthor, who despises superheroes because reasons, hates Superman the most. So he also tries to discover means to defeat the Man of Steel, who spends most of the movie being asked by himself and others if him being on Earth is actually a positive thing or not. This review will contain spoilers because fuck it. Not only is Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice a cancer to superhero movies, but it's by miles the worst contribution to its genre since the Green Lantern. In ways, it's worse than the Fantastic Four remake because I expected that to be the piece of shit that it was, and my heart is much closer to these characters, making Batman vs Superman a very unpleasant experience for any fan of its medium. After my viewing, I worked out very quickly that what I saw wasn't a movie, but a fucking punishment. A punishment for gorging ourselves on amazing superhero movies like these, and this is the rectum-ruining, arsehole-splitting, colossal mega shit that results from our gluttony. Fuck this movie. Director Zack Snyder is no rookie to this genre, he just so happened to have directed my personal favourite superhero movie of all time. However, here he has made a piece of shit that's riddled with basic filmmaking errors. Structurally, the whole thing is a fucking mess and flows about as well as a river made of dicks. There are no establishing shots making it hard to work out where any of this bottled raccoon piss is going on. It's stuffed with shit that doesn't need to be there, and why for the love of fuck did the movie dedicate 10 or so minutes of its torturous runtime to the death of Bruce Wayne's parents? Come the fuck on. Yes, I understand that this is the first film involving Batman that's a part of DC's extended universe. The Dark Knight trilogy isn't a part of this, but do we really need an origin story that's either been referenced or shown in every Batman movie dating back to the early 90s? That level of pointlessness can only be matched by midi-chlorians and the existence of Taylor Lautner. Ben Affleck is a good Batman and an even better Bruce Wayne, and is by far the best thing about this movie. Henry Cavill is just as bland and as wooden as he was in Man of Steel. However, casting Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor was the worst decision in Hollywood since deciding to hire Hayden Christensen to play Anakin Skywalker. His personality is ruthlessly inconsistent. He fucks up the tone the movie is going for. His multi-billion-dollar company's objectives and purpose are never explained, and his body language and expressions look uncomfortably forced. It feels like Lex Luthor and the Riddler were both meant to be in this movie, but DC thought fuck it, let's just blend them up into a cocktail that tastes about as refreshing as a sour shot of armadillo spunk. Plot-wise, it's a fucking joke as well. Both Lex Luthor and Batman spend nearly all of the movie trying to find a way to kill Superman. The only method available at present was to modify a recently discovered chunk of kryptonite into a weapon and go from there. So why didn't Batman approach Lex? Tell him to make the weapon so Batman can have more time to prepare for the fight instead of wasting a fuckload of effort by stealing it from him to use it for the exact same fucking purpose as Lex. Holy fucking shit, Bruce. What the fuck did you think a billionaire loaded with resources who openly despises Superman was going to try and do with a fuck-off piece of kryptonite? Speaking of the fight, aka the whole fucking reason you went to see this pixelated clusterfuck, it goes on for 10 minutes tops and isn't really that good, and the ending to it was fucking embarrassing. Batman has Superman well and truly fucked and doesn't kill him because their mothers share the same name. I'm not fucking kidding. Batman dedicates 18 months of his life to defeating the man who was killed, albeit non-intentionally. Many of his employees and friends and most likely caused him an extreme amount of financial loss, has him exactly where he wanted, and in the end spares his life and instantly befriends him because both of their mums are called Martha. Holy fucking shit. That would be like Thor in Oakenshield allowing Smaug to keep his heirloom treasure because he found out they both defecated in the same shithole one time. I could go on. So I fucking will. You know how Marvel discreetly places their cameos and Easter eggs in their movies without disturbing the narrative or does one of their famous post-credit scenes? Well, it turns out that that type of technique is way too fucking subtle for D-motherfucking C. Wonder Woman, oh yeah, Wonder Woman is in this, is seeking a photo currently in Lex's possession that belongs to her. Bruce Wayne gets to it first and sends her the photo as well as files containing video clips of other members of the Justice League. She opens it and thus begins 5 minutes or so of footage of what's likely to be round 2, 3, 4 and 5 of the rectum-ruining, arsehole-splitting, colossal mega shit. Basically, the whole film puts itself on fucking pause to show us trailers for the next 4 jizz shots to the eye. None of them feeling like an exciting preview of what's to come, but a fucking threat that we need to be very, very scared of. On the subject of Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot does a fine job, but the thing you remember the most about her is that bullshit cheesy metal riff that plays over her every time she is introduced in costume, ruining any chance of taking her seriously. You may have noticed I haven't mentioned Amy Adams' Lois Lane up until now, and that's simply because there isn't much to say about her. She's just there to be constantly rescued by Superman. At one point, we are meant to be caught up in suspense because she starts to drown in an attempt to rescue Batman's kryptonite spear during the Justice League's attempt to kill what is essentially a cave troll that swallowed a flashlight. But any chance of tension this scene was going to produce was murdered before it was born because she was the one who threw it in there in the fucking first place. You get the fucking point. Fuck Batman vs Superman. As a standalone movie, it's a fucking disgrace, and to the geek culture, it's a contribution that's about as welcome as a barbed wire baseball batter to colonoscopy.